Hey guys, Ginger here. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing the guilty reader tag to see how much of a guilty reader I am. As I was stumbling along looking for video ideas that I could do sitting down, as I have a lot of secret TBRs, videos that take a long time in the works, I came across this old tag that I never did. So we're gonna do it, and hopefully we have a lot of fun. I have the questions here on my phone. I have not read them at all yet, so I'm going to be just as surprised as you with the answers that I discover, and so I hope you have a good time, and let's get into the questions. The first question is, have you ever regifted a book that was given to you? I'm definitely sure that I have. Some of my family members or friends have gifted me books that I just wasn't necessarily interested in, and so I knew that they would be better off in someone else's hands, so I have regifted them or donated them. So I'm not that worried about that kind of stuff, because there's no point in keeping a book on my shelves that I'm never going to read, even if someone gave it to me as a gift. So I definitely have done that. There's a few instances that I can think of, but it's totally fine. No one is mad at me. I have so many books that people probably forget which ones they've even given to me. The next question is, have you ever said you've read a book when you haven't? No, I don't know why you would do that, because the whole point of BookTube is to talk about the books you haven't read yet and you're excited for. So I'm not going to lie and say I've read a book when I haven't, because the whole point is I'm excited to read them. So no, I've never done that. And even, I guess the only other time that I think I could have gotten away with saying that is like for a school project, but I'm pretty sure I either read the books or at least skimmed them enough to understand what was going on. So I never said that I read one when I didn't. So yeah, never did that. Number 3, have you ever borrowed a book and never returned it? Yeah, not recently, but when I was a little youngin' in 3rd grade, I definitely stole a couple books from my classroom teacher. There was one about wolves and there was one about big cats, and I loved those, so I just kept them for myself. And I had those for years. In fact, I'm sure my mom probably has them somewhere, and I would love to find them and discover what ever happened to those, because I stole them, and so I kind of feel bad. I actually was so guilty about it, but I really wanted those books, so I kept them. I've never in my later years done that, and at least on purpose. I might have accidentally kept someone's book that I borrowed, but I think it was like a swap, so they had borrowed one of mine, and so it was kind of like equivalent, the exchange of energy, will you say, because we both had a book. I knew I had that. Sorry, unrelated. Number 4 is, have you ever read a series out of order? Actually, my favorite series ever I read out of order, because when I was in 6th grade and I started the series, I was waiting and waiting and waiting for the first book in the series to get returned to the library. So that was making me put it off. And my friend at the time, my best friend at the time, was like, you just need to read it, so find a way to do it. So I picked up the second book and I started there. So I completely missed the beginning of the series and read the other 5 books without knowing how it started. Later, I did go back and read it, obviously, and I do own it, and I've read it multiple times now, but I found that I didn't miss a whole lot by not reading it, so it was fine. Other than that, though, I don't think I've read any out of order, because I am someone who is very conscious about keeping things in order. I like my stories to flow, and I also like to have everything matching, and so these books right here, The Diviners, makes me mad because they don't match. But I just like to read everything in order so I could get the full flow of the series. So yeah, besides that, no, I haven't done it. The next question is, have you ever spoiled a book for someone? Probably. I don't remember details if I did. I've definitely spoiled books to Zach, but that's because he doesn't plan on reading them. So I always ask him ahead of time, do you plan on reading this? He says no, so I can tell him. I'm someone who, I want people to read books, so I don't want to spoil it, which is why I'm also really bad at like including spoilers in vlogs and videos, because even if I put a spoiler warning or anything, I feel like people could still get that spoiler and then they can be upset, and I want people to read the book, especially if I like it. So I'm always conscious about asking first before I talk about anything, or making sure they've read the book, because I mean, as a booktuber, I feel like I'm here to promote books, so I don't want to spoil stuff if you don't want to be spoiled for. Number 6, have you ever dog-eared a book? Yeah, I hate to admit that when I was younger and I didn't have a bookmark, I would just flip them over, but as I grew, I realized that was an abomination, and I never ever do that. And I hate when I buy thrifted books that have bent pages, because obviously I know they're thrifted books, they have some wear and tear, but there's just something about that kind of damage to a page that upsets me now. So even if I have to grab a scrap of paper from work or a receipt or something, I make sure to have some sort of bookmark so I don't do that. But unfortunately, when I was young, I did dog-ear books. I'm ashamed to admit it. Next question, have you ever told someone you owned a book when you didn't? Not with intention to lie. If I ever did, it was because I thought I genuinely did own the book and I found out I didn't. Maybe I got rid of it or something. But I've never just lied about having a book that I don't own, because what's the point in that? Especially because I love to know what books I own. So I just don't see the point in that question. But no, I've never lied to someone about the books that I own. I mean, why would I? I have so many. Next question is, have you ever told someone you haven't read a book when you have? No, I'm not ashamed of the books that I've read, even if I've read some bad ones. I don't see what the point in, again, lying to someone about a book is. They're books, and if someone really doesn't like a book, doesn't mean you can't read it. So there's no point in lying and being like, oh yeah, I didn't read that, I wouldn't want to. No, just be honest with your book tastes. You don't want to lie to people. There's no point. The second to last question is, have you ever skipped a section or chapter of a book? For sure. I remember reading Moonrise, which is one of the Warriors books, and I was only interested in one character's perspective. So I kind of just skimmed very quickly the other sections until I got to a character I liked, and so I missed a huge portion of the book and had no idea what was going on. So eventually I went back, I think, and reread that book. Maybe I didn't. Holy crap. Don't worry, I'm planning to reread that whole series this year or next or eventually, so it'll be fine. I'll get it. I don't necessarily skip sections, but I do skim them if they're boring. When I was reading a book for my most recent video that will be up hopefully at the end of the month, I was definitely skimming some really boring parts because it was boring. So yeah, I don't necessarily skip, but I do skim, so kind of guilty, I guess. And the last question is, have you ever badmouthed a book that you actually liked? No, I haven't, because if I like a book, I want to gush about it. I want to be expressive about my love for a book, and I want people to read it. So I don't see, again, a reason to badmouth it, because I like it. Even if it's a book that a lot of people don't like, there's no point, or there's no reason to say that you didn't like a book if you did. I will tell people about the things I didn't like about a favorite book of mine, even if it was a favorite, like Red, White, and Royal Blue. I said I really liked it, but I could also see that there were issues with it, and I understand why people didn't like it. So I'm aware of bad things in a book, or maybe just not bad, but things that aren't as well received for other people, but I liked. But I'm not going to just badmouth it because I can. These questions are confusing. I don't understand why. If you do this, please explain to me why, because I just don't see the point. Maybe I'm naive. I don't know. But so was I a guilty reader, guys? I don't really know. I don't know how to tell if I'm a guilty reader from this tag. You guys will have to just tell me if I'm a guilty reader or not, because I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun talking about books, as I always do. And let me know in the comments below if you've done this tag, or again, if you think I'm a guilty reader or not, because I really don't know. But if you haven't done this and you would like to, it was really fun, so I recommend you doing it, especially if you're looking for a new sit-down video, because it's really easy to film. But thank you guys again. Make sure to hit that like button if you like this, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos in the future. Like I mentioned, I have a secret TBR coming out soon that I hope will be fun. I'm in the midst of finishing it, so if you're interested in seeing that, again, subscribe so you can see and be notified when that comes out. But until my next video, I will see you all there. Bye!